Right, for those of you who are budding space adventurers playing Evochron Mercenary, my name is Nocturnal and I decided to put together this video tutorial to help those of you who have been floating around in space looking for planets without a good clear course with which to find them. This game is massive. If you decide to just fly around and hope to run into anything, I hate to disappoint you, but the likelihood is that you're going to run out of fuel and die somewhere out in space. I've been mapping out different areas of the universe for quite a little while now. I've managed to find a good 9, 10 plus systems with planets that have previously been undiscovered by any other players in the last couple of years since the update brought in more systems. I wouldn't be able to do this tutorial and wouldn't have been able to find any of my planets without the help of largely SeeJay from the forums. He's put a lot of work into helping Evochron Mercenary build as a game, and has made it a lot easier for a lot of players to get involved. So thanks a lot, SeeJay. Hopefully this tutorial goes a long way to helping other players assist us in mapping out the unknown universe, so we have more places and more fun to play. Now, I have just recently, in the last few days, discovered the system L849, a little south of Aquila. I love the system and have decided to make it my own. However, as you can see around this area here of the map, there is very little discovered around here, so this is my sort of target area as far as my discoveries are going at the moment. As you can see, there is a massive amount, even in just this area of the map, and this is only Vega, Rucka, Aquila, Alpha Centauri, Deneb area of the map. There's a huge amount more to this universe, and I encourage you guys, once I teach you how to discover planets, to head out there in different directions and go make your own fame. Now, this site at SeeJay's site, mercenary.junhold.se, will give you the online universe showing all of the known systems. There's another page that I'd like you to bring up to help us with the planet finding side of things. That is evochron2.junhold.se/main/planetsearch3.htm. This is the page that does all the magic, which helps us actually pinpoint the location of known planets and unknown planets. So you should bring both of these up, as well as being in the game. Now I'm going to show you where I'm actually flying from. I started flying a little while ago because it's a fair way to find anything in this game. The L849 system has a planet called K646. Now I've generally headed sort of south from here because I know it's all unknown space below me. Just before I started this tutorial, I decided to stop flying so that I don't miss the point that we need to get our first coordinate from. So I'm going to be heading directly down from where I've stopped, and I'll go through the rest of it from here. We'll just switch over to the game now, but we're going to be heading out somewhere down this way. I'll just zoom us back out here. Okay, actually, before we zoomed out, given the fact that we know that we're going from K646A as our closest point, we actually want to bring up the planet finder and we want to add the coordinates of K646A. Now you've got SX, SY and SZ, which are your coordinates you're wanting to use. These positional coordinates here are actually in relation to just the square that you're in. So these ones are the short range coordinates, whereas these ones are your entire universe coordinates. Your X being your x-axis, your Z being your up-down axis, and your Y being your depth axis. So you can guess it's a very, very big game. Okay, so what we want to do is open the Planet Finder. We want to add the X value, 1304. And the Z value, that is negative 2801. Okay, these are two very important values. They need to be put in correctly. Don't forget the negative. This is Planet A setup here, and if you want to be absolutely correct, K646A, so that's where we're heading from. Now there's a couple of ways you can use to pinpoint the location of an unknown. You can either head from a known location, a single known location, and hit two or three points along the border between the two, that is your known planet and the unknown system. Alternatively, if you're lucky enough to have two known systems or two known planets next to the system with which you're looking for an unknown planet, you can actually go from one point and the other known point in order to triangulate your position. The setup for this Planet Search 3, once you know approximately the area that you're in, so we've got SS, SY, SZ. SY is not going to be used. The crossover point I'll explain in a minute, but once you've got this value in here, just click Set Values, and if you scroll over the map, it will change. Or if we reset these two, Set Values, it will change this. Now you'll notice that nothing is showing on the map at the moment. This is because our grid center is still set to 0. The map, as I've said a couple of times now, is really quite large. 1400 by 1400 is the grid size. Now we're at 1304, negative 2801. So we're actually going to put this in the grid center here, or at least approximately. So 1300, 2800, or negative 2800. And if we set value on that and scroll back over here, you'll see we've now got a little yellow point. That point is this planet that we've added, K646A. Now it's a little bit too low on my screen, so I actually want to bring it up a little bit. We can adjust the Z value in order to bring this up. So if we've done that, you'll see it's now a little bit higher, makes it just a little bit easier for us. We're working around this location in any case. I'm actually going to be triangulating along the border between whatever system we hit and K646A, so I'm actually going to change this one on this side for our second planet to the same. I found that as long as you get enough distance along the border between the two, that it actually allows this triangulation to work quite well. If you don't have enough distance between these two values of Planet A and Planet B crossover points, it makes it more difficult to find this needle in a haystack of a planet in this universe that you're looking for. So anyway, we'll set value on this one. You're not going to see much of a change here. You've just got the two planets at the exact same point right here. Now, one of the most important things, and one of the reasons why we can actually do this, is because of this bit in the game here. As you can see, it says that we're in system K646. What this means is that the closest planet to our location is K646, the planet that we've headed from. I've been heading directly downwards, so I'm going to start the autopilot up again. What we're looking for is the point at which this system changes. When we change to a new system name, which could take a while, that point, or close to that point, is actually the midpoint between the two planets. That is the planet that we're coming from, that we already know, and the planet that we are heading towards, trying to discover. So we're going to continue on until we find this system change. As soon as that changes, we want to cancel the autopilot and back up a little bit to try to find the exact point at which the change occurs. You have to have a little bit of patience with this, and you've got to be as accurate as possible, because, as I said, it's a needle in a haystack. Planets are not easy to find, or else in the last 4 years since Evochron was released, we would have had all of the planets already found. However, if you put in a little bit of work, I can assure you that the results can be quite spectacular. I love rocking up in a new system, finding the staff of the system, finding the surrounding planets, any star docks, etc. at those planets, asteroid belts. It's great fun. Love taking photos of them, showing them to a few of the other players, and astounding them with some of the awesome images of brand new worlds that no one has seen before. Before you head out adventuring and looking for new places, I would definitely recommend you do a couple of things. First off, you're not setting your ship up for combat, you're setting your ship up for discovery. So you want to get yourself the best possible fuel cells and probably the best possible shields that you can. And then you need to make sure that, of course, you have filled up before you head off. Now, as you can see, I mean, I've left K646 a little while ago. I had 4,000 fuel. I'm already down to 3,502. I might have flown around a little while before I headed off, but it definitely does take a lot of fuel, so make sure you don't get stranded out here. With a mind to conserving fuel. Oh, hang on a minute, look what just happened. We just hit our new system. So D390. Right, I've cancelled my autopilot, so that's good. We're still floating a little way, but it's not going to make much difference given the vastness of space. Now, what I was saying is, with a mind to preserving your fuel levels, when you start moving, you should always switch from IDS to inertial. Inertial meaning that you will just float instead of IDS, dampening your inertial system and and trying to slow you down every time you come out of warp, which just wastes fuel. So we've hit D390 here. We want to back up a little bit, so we're just going to go back a few squares here until we pop back into the K646 system. Alright, so it's not yet. We're going to do that again. We want to find this point where we cross over. W170. Okay, well this is quite interesting. I'm not sure exactly why. I probably can explain why this is. What is likely is that W170 and D390 are probably two planets in close proximity at whatever system we're heading to. So I'm going to just move us a little bit to the right and up a bit and see if this changes. Okay, we're back in D390, so we've still got to go higher. So what that also says to me is that D390 is actually going to be on the right hand side and W170 is going to be on the left hand side. I could have chosen either D390 or W170 to track down. I'm just going to stick with D390 since it was the first one we hit. It's possible that it's a little bit closer to us, but it looks like they might have been a fairly similar distance from us. Okay, we obviously overjumped it by quite a bit, so let's just go back a little bit further. With regards to your ship as well, when you're planning on doing this sort of a long distance mission, discovery mission, I would also definitely recommend that you hunt down and purchase a Mantis warp drive, as it will help you warp further every warp, which will eventually lead to discovering places faster. Okay, we've just hit K646 again, so now that we've done that, we want to just pop forward again, or down again I should say, and get back into the new system. Find that crossover point. So it's not this one, we'll go down one square more. Still no. Once we find this crossover point, the rest of the discovery of the next plot point is actually quite straightforward. Basically, we just need to follow the line of the crossover between D390, which we just hit, and K646. Okay, so we've just hit it. Now, what we want to do is record these values. So we've got 1341. So 1341 is the crossover point in X, and negative 2931 is the crossover point in Z. Okay, so what we want to do now, guys, is set value, and you'll see if you scroll over this, a big change. You've now got a circle from our planet, K646A, to our location where we are at the moment. Now, what this actually means, this orbit here, means that the planet that we seek could be anywhere around here, since we know that between the point that we're at and our planet is exactly halfway between our unknown planet and K646. Somewhere along here is the planet that we're searching for. Obviously, we don't want to just fly all the way around here. You will never ever find it. So we need another point. Let's go back to the game. We need to now run across this line here, keeping an eye on any changes between the systems. We want to just run as far as we can, or a decent way along there. So notice it's still in D390, so I'm still going upwards so that we can jump back into 646. Another quick note that I should make here is that it won't always run along the line. A lot of the time they will diagonally go up, because at the end of the day you've got an orbit around. You don't always have planets directly up and down from each other. So we're back in K646 now, so we'll keep moving. It is important to get as much distance between these points that we're crossing over as possible, as I mentioned. Alright, so we're back in 390, so we'll continue on. Another note for speed of jumping here, you actually should always consider moving your energy levels, given that every jump depletes your weapon level all the way to 0. You should consider increasing, using the close square bracket key, your energy here for maximum weapon regeneration, which will help us jump faster. Because we're wanting to go along this line quite a way, what I'm actually going to do is enable autopilot, and doing so will let me just click on an area, and it will actually just autopilot me there, so I don't have to keep clicking launch all the time. We just want to go along, I don't know, maybe a few more crosses. So we'll go down again because we're still in 646. We want to go down and cross that boundary, make sure it's still there, otherwise we might need to go down a little bit further. Alright, there's 390, so that's great. We'll go back up, basically just zigzagging that boundary. There it is, that's good. Go back down. It might be a little bit premature now, however I'm going to show you the difference that this is making in the planetary map. Back in D390, okay, so what I'm going to do is just cross up a little bit and see if this line is the crossover between our two systems. Always nice reading toxic chat. Sorry to have to show that in the video. Alright, we're still in 390, so I'm gonna just go up another system. Man, TX226. Lovely. I really don't like toxic people. If you want to play a game, play it to have fun. Don't play it to be a jerk to other people. Okay, D390, we're still there, so we'll just have to go up a little bit more. Alright, we're back at K646, so it might be this line here. Another thing I should point out is that as you can scroll in or out in your navigation, I would recommend, as you're searching for places, just keep it out all the time. Okay, here we go. This is just the crossover point here. We'll cancel the autopilot. We'll check our SX is now 1402. Back to the planet finder. We're going to put this in the second one here. So see, it's now moved along from the 1341, and our Z crossover point 2926, negative 2926 even. We'll set the value here and scroll over, and look at that. There's a big difference in our orbits here. So you can see that we have a crossover point here, single crossover point, meaning that this is the likely location of our planet. You could continue along and get another point and set up planet C along this guideline. Again, it should do the exact same thing. You should end up with another cross over here. If we go to this point and can't find the planet, then maybe I've stuffed up something and we'll need to fix it, or try to calculate another point. But given where we are at the moment, there's a pretty good cross section there for me to work with, and if you scroll over it, you will see on the mouse position here where it thinks the crossover point is. So scroll over there, we've got 1327, looks like, and 3066. So what we want to do now is go back to the game. -27 -3066. Right, we're going to keep the SY at 0, and we're going to autopilot to this location. There's one thing that I forgot to do, and this is an important one for you, because obviously, apart from the fact that I knew that there was nothing below me, hang on. Alright, because I knew there was nothing below me, I knew that this was an unknown system. Okay, but quite importantly, in case you do all this work and someone has already found the system and reported it before, you want to save yourself that hassle. So if we go back to our mercenary map and we go to search and we look for D390, which is the name of that system. If it's been discovered, it's going to show up in this list, right? So it doesn't show up, we know that it's not discovered. The other one was W170 that I saw. I'm just going to search for that one. Okay, it's also not there. Now, if W170 had shown up as a discovered system, you actually could have utilized an existing point that you can find from in here as that third value to give you another crossover point. But since they're both unknowns, we don't need to worry about that. All we know is that we're actually discovering a new planet, hopefully at those coordinates. So let's go back to the game, see if we're there. Alright, we've got a little way to go. We're currently at 1373, hopping at about 10 jumps or 10 points per jump, so we've still got a little way to go. Still people being toxic over there, so it's annoying. Alright, well I think that had to be said. Anyway, we're on the way. As you can see, finding planets can take some time. You won't always be able to find a planet if you get something wrong, if you write one of the coordinates in wrong, etc. As I said, it's not easy to find. So we're approaching our point here. Now, when we reach this point, we likely won't find any planets right away because we're still on the 0 Y coordinate. Ah, terrible. Alright, so what we need to do here, well, I can turn off it, oh no, it's alright, is change our SY. Now, you want to just take a bit of a guess. You can go either negative or positive. Usually I will go about 50 in either direction, and I'm going to just take a guess and go 50 positive. What this is doing is keeping us in the same X and Z coordinate, but we're actually going to be looking up or down depth-wise for our planets. So keep a very close eye, make sure that you're zoomed completely out, and get ready to cancel autopilot if you see any planets come up. Aha! Alright, here we go. Cancelled autopilots. I've seen 2 planets already. So, first things first, you're not going to be able to right click on them to go straight to them because they're actually probably not in our current SY coordinates. So what we need to do is actually single click near, like left click near one, click on rear view, and you'll see where it is. See, it's actually above us a little way, so I'm going to single click there as well. Go back to the top view and launch. Don't launch too close to it, and before you launch I would always hit Alt F9, which saves you. Click launch. And we might be able to get the first view of a new planet right here. And there we go. Planet that no one in Evochron Mercenary has ever seen before other than us. Alright, so go back to the nav menu. We can zoom in by right clicking on it. Make sure you don't warp to the planet obviously, but this is our D390, a agricultural planet, and it's got a lovely ring around it. No cities though. Cities show up with little green crosses, but here we go. That's our planet discovered. Let's go zoom back out and check out this planet. As you can see, this planet's actually got a starport already. This isn't a player-built starport. You don't have to fear that you've actually found somewhere that someone's found before. This is part of the planet. So this is B915, right? Which actually means that that W, whatever it was, 170 I think, is actually still out here and pretty close. Just because I feel like it. We don't need to, but because I feel like it, I'm going to come over this way and check out this planet as well. And the raging is still going on in chat. Okay. Nice looking planet as well. Let's jump into this starport. Now for those of you, this is a little side note, those of you who aren't aware of the quick way to get to a starport, you should level yourself to exact level and then move to a 180 degree heading. Once you're at 180 degrees, and you've selected the starport, hit F2 to warp, and you should warp straight through the front door.
Mercenary spacecraft, you are clear to dock through gate 1.
Alright. Now, what do we want? Alright, well I'm gonna have to pay a docking trade fee here. Alright, but I want fuel. That's what I want. Alright, once we've fueled up,
Docking track being disengaged.
Let's go back to our nav menu.
Mercenary spacecraft, you are cleared to depart through
You'll notice that this planet has 3 cities on it. The highlighted one with the green around it is the capital city, and the others are minor cities. That's pretty cool. Alright, however, we've got one more job to do. That is, we need to find the star for this system. The way we do this is we need to find the area or the side of the planet that's the brightest, because the star will be directly behind us while we're looking at the planet while it's bright. So let's have a look at it now. Alright, you can see that the right hand side, as I'm looking at it, is brighter than the left hand side. So if I look in this direction, go back to my map, and I'm aiming downwards, so that means that from me to the planet is actually, I need to be a little bit further down, maybe out here, and then we'll have another look at the planet and see if it's any better. If you look around and you can't see the planet, just go back to the nav menu, click on the planet once, and F1 again, you'll see your little nav pointer come up. Alright, we're obviously a little bit too far to actually see it on the map, so let's just move in a little bit further. And it should come up. Alright, there we go. So that's now looking actually quite well-rounded from a lighting point of view, so I would say that the star for the system is pretty much behind us. So we can't see it here, but let's just click here, launch, and see if it shows up. Alright, nothing yet. Okay, here we go. We've found our star. Not only that, the star is for the system W170, which means that that unknown planet is also closer to us than the other 2 planets. So what we want to do then is have a little look around here, maybe north of the star, and see if we can come across that planet. And there it is, another planet with a star dock. 2 cities on it as well, W170. Great. So we've just discovered 3 previously undiscovered planets, and the system. The system, or the sun for this, is the closest planet. So this system, the whole solar system, will be called W170 as far as the records are concerned. And the last thing that I would definitely recommend you do, especially if you want to help further the EM world and have your name etched in EM history, is to submit the locations for all of these points through to SeeJay through his website, so that it can be updated into the Mercenary or the Evochron map here, to have your name show up as the buy for the person who discovered it. It's pretty straightforward. In order to do that, you should just right click, don't warp to, right click the star, note down the XYZ, SX, SY, SZ values for the star. Do the same thing for the planet. You also want to note down the number of cities and whether it's an E or a G, A, I, T or B planet. And you also want to do the same thing, the number of the starport, 6256 here, and the coordinates of the position for each one of the items that you find. If you come across asteroid fields as well, you want to do it for them. Nebula as well, you can do it for them. The more information that you can glean from the systems to send through to SeeJay, the better. And then it'll allow other people to come along, visit the systems, and see how much hard work you've put into it. Now, just for my own personal pleasure, I want to go over here and have a look at this planet that we have just found. This is the thing that really does it for me. I love actually seeing the new world that I've discovered. Wow. Look at that, that looks almost Earth-like, with the star dock already there. That is awesome. So I like to take a little screenshot of this. I also, just for record keeping, take a screenshot of all the coordinate locations, and you know, for those of you who are into putting together logs of your travels, etc., you'd be able to put all of these into a web page and actually properly chronicle your adventures in finding new planets and new systems. That's about it for the tutorial, guys. Just once again, I'd like to thank SeeJay for all of his help in making this happen. I'm going to be submitting this new W170 system with the 3 newly discovered planets through to SeeJay shortly, and I really look forward to you guys getting out there, having some fun, discovering new planets, and getting them all posted on the website. As I said, guys, my name is Nocturnal. I am from the Non-Toxic Gaming or Non-Toxic Gamers group. Basically started this group because I don't like all of the crap toxicity that tends to go in a lot of games these days, so we just concentrate on having a good time, having lots of fun, and being nice and helping people. Please make sure that if you come in to play Evochron Mercenary, if I'm online, make sure you say hi, come visit some of our newly discovered planets and solar systems, and most of all, have lots of fun in this awesome game. I'm going to log out now, and all the best in Evochron Mercenary.